and see how he deals with that, because he doesn't really like doing interviews in any way, shape or form. There's been nothing short of sensation. He has done
levels that he's brought up for these players as well. Meticulous planning. I've always wanted to talk about Marcel Bielsa. I've never had a chance, and I'm a bit overwhelmed by it because I'm so excited, to be honest.
Yeah, I think what you find when Danny talks about the backroom staff, and it's the amount of staff that he brings in, the detail, the attention to detail going into every single game. Every single player that's played under him so far for Leeds has pretty much improved dramatically, as well as being big improvements in a lot of players. I think when you're looking at the Premier League, tactically, he's very astute. He understands what he's coming up against and how to sort of navigate his way through a game during the course of it to change tactics. But the big challenge, of course, is when you step into the Premier League, the quality of opposition that you come up against is better. The press from the teams, especially against Liverpool today, you're coming up against arguably the best pressing team in world football. And will they have the answers to that? Will the confidence of the players still stay the same? I think that'll be a big test for them.
Light it up, and we smoke. Keep me high up off the ground. In a haze, in the crowd. We ain't ever coming down, 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 down. We ain't ever coming down, 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 down. Like islands in the sky. Living in a paradise.
Bremner, Barnes and Chapman, Gerrard, Owen, Yeboah, Viduka. A grand old favourite for a brand new generation. You'll Never Walk Alone meets Marching On Together. It's a delicious start for us, Jim.
Well, it is. I'm delighted to have this fixture back in the top flight. Coaches who've captured the imagination thanks to their high-intensity styles of play, and I think this meeting offers great potential. And just to note as well, Leeds look as if they're playing a 4-2-3-1 formation. It looks like Cleek is going to play back there with Phillips.
Gomez, Van Dijk. Liverpool settling into a formation which we knew so well and re-adopted once. Gomez asking Salah to run. That is Dallas at left back for Leeds, preferred on this occasion to Scotland's Barry Douglas. Trent Alexander-Arnold. Dallas tight to him as he will have to remain, supported by young Jack Harrison. The start of his third season on loan from Manchester City, very highly touted player. Van Dijk. Robertson, whose is the only position in which Liverpool have reinforced through the summer. Simicast Greek, left back, is not on the bench today. Here's Naby Keita, with Firmino up ahead of him. Roberto Firmino, Meslier came and was dug out of trouble by a fast retreating Click.
Well, I'm very surprised that Firmino hasn't gone for the dink. I thought it was made as the keeper came towards him. He was just going to look to lift it over him, and whether he converted it himself or whether it found another red shirt, it was on. It's a lovely little ball from Keita, but he could have reacted earlier, Roberto Firmino.
By Strauch, who is a late call-up into the Leeds 11 because the captain Liam Cooper was unfit. Koch playing also as Davidson's at centre-half, the German international. So we have two central defenders for Leeds who barely met, thrust together in this, the most examining of starts. Dallas taken back calmly by Gomez. Henderson flicked through by Salah, taken on here by Sadio Mane. Ailing the skipper is strong enough to force Mane at least wider than he chose to be. Salah's hit Koch, and the referee has pointed at the spot.
Yeah. Well, the rules have been clarified, and they've looked to balance things fair. in a fairer fashion. And anytime the arm is away from the body, the referee is obliged to give it, and I don't think he can complain with that, Robin Cook. It's a horrible start for him, but that looks like a penalty.
It is a penalty, and it is a nightmare opening night for the German debutant Robin Koch. Inside the first 3.5 minutes, he and Leeds stare down the barrel of an immediate deficit. It is Mo Salah. Salah! The champions are on their way. Immediate thrust. Recognisable certainty. And a nasty dig in the ribs for Leeds United and Bielsa.
Yeah, I think Leeds have had another go at Michael Oliver, but Mo Salah wasn't thinking about anything other than getting power behind this, and obviously hoping that the keeper would move from that central area, which he did, and pretty emphatic. And Liverpool's start has been also pretty emphatic.
And Mo Salah has now scored on the opening day of 4 consecutive seasons. Watford 2017, West Ham 2018, Norwich 2019, and from the spot at the expense of Leeds in 2020. In the Premier League era, only Teddy Sheringham has previously achieved that, and he did it with 2 different clubs, Forest once and Spurs 3 on the trot, in the earliest years of the Premier League era. And one does recall, whilst making clear that Michael Oliver's decision was evidently the right one does recall that Norwich City came to this ground as champions of the Championship on the first night last year, and in their case they were quickly behind to an own goal scored by Grant Hanley. Leeds almost, or more quickly, conceded a penalty, and they too have a deficit to try and make up.
Yeah, I think part of that argument from the Leeds players may have been proximity, but it looked as if there was a safe enough distance for the referee to blow his whistle.
Henderson for Salah, who wriggles away from Dallas and feeds it for Mane, and has a go himself. And picks for Helder Costa. And Leeds haven't really journeyed beyond halfway yet.
No, welcome to the Premier League. This is a very, very harsh introduction. No mercy from Jurgen Klopp.
Well, would you expect any from a man who absolutely acknowledges that they all start on nil again? 99 points have disappeared over the briefest of summers.
Yeah, and I think the one thing you could say about Leeds, Peter, they have courage. All the players have courage to want to get on the ball, and you have to want to get on the ball to play in Marcelo Bielsa's team. But very interesting now to see whether they can grow their confidence from the setback.
His clearance, Firmino looking to twist around Strauch, forward by the unfortunate Koch. Harrison couldn't keep in. Don't want to be too self-indulgent, Jim, but I'll just allow you 30 seconds here to say that this is your golden night, of course, isn't it? Because I don't think we will ever have a more appropriate co-commentator than, I suggest, the only man on the planet who has both won the title with Liverpool and the second tier of English football with Leeds. So maximise your moment, won't you?
Thank you. I mean, you're bringing back memories that I'd pretty much forgotten about. Yeah, tough for Marcelo Bielsa, but I think he has huge respect for what Liverpool can do here. I was fortunate enough to be at these 2 clubs, Peter, when the times were good, and I had a great time being part of it.
And they're good again now. Costa. Now Bamford, led by Hernandez. Ayling captaining in the absence of Cooper. Nice touch from Click, fed in by Hernandez, away by Gomez, nudged down by Click, could have fallen for Harrison, Costa's offside.
Yeah, they've looked at it, and you can see the way Helder Costa's kind of moving away. He's not even reacting to it. It's as if he expected the flag to be raised. He just seemed to ease Joe Gomez off it. But it was Hernandez initially who got the ball in, and Liverpool didn't really follow up the header from Gomez, and he is off.
Helder Costa, one of those in the Leeds team who does have Premier League experience, had a year at this level with Wolves, a championship winner with both Wolves and now Leeds. Robertson. Sadio Mane, touched back by Firmino for Henderson, and taken up by Gomez. Pretty seamless start this from Liverpool, as if they'd never been away. Salah, Firmino, Wijnaldum. Team. So Robertson drives at Harrison. Team that only lost 3 throughout the Premier League campaign last year, and only once actually whilst the Premier League campaign from their point of view was still alive. Van Dijk. Nudge back by Jack Harrison, who is a very exciting prospect, already a well-travelled individual who began as a very young boy in the Liverpool Academy. Went from here to Manchester United's academy, moved to Massachusetts, had a year with New York City before coming to Manchester City, whose property he still is. Dallas. Out by Alexander-Arnold, and Salah can look forward again. Sadio Mane. Keita threw his head in. Click is a robust individual. Hernandez. Click. Harrison. It's a good run this from Hernandez, and Bamford is free if he can find him, but Van Dijk got between ball and its would-be destination.
Well, Van Dijk did a very important job then, because had that found its way through, then basically Bamford can think about picking a spot. And now we're beginning to see Leeds kind of relax a little bit and play their football, and there was a wonderful ball by Harrison to get him in play. Hernandez.
Harrison again. Oh, he's made some space here. It's a good hit, it's an equaliser. And Leeds have their golden moment in front of the Kop. Jack Harrison's dream comes true. And the champions of the championship draw level.
What about the ball from Calvin Phillips? But the take as well, I know it came off his chest, but to be able to come inside Alexander-Arnold and then avoid Gomez, I just thought was brilliant from Harrison. You've got to remember as well that he's left-footed, but once he got in position, he knew he didn't have time to get it back on that left foot, so he had to go with the weaker side. It didn't look weak from where I was looking. This is a tremendous finish, and what a response from a team that's full of bravery. Superb.
Bravery, which marked out his method both last season and indeed the season before when they came so close. Leeds have made themselves relentless. They march on together, as their song of the ages would remind you. And Click's pressing there was of a type that Bielsa insists upon. Keita. Salah. Keita. Out by Koch.
Yeah, just needed a little bit more on it, but Liverpool are able to play that longer ball forward to avoid the Leeds high press, and that can find space then for the likes of Keita, Wijnaldum, and get Firmino involved, and of course Mane and Salah.
Oh, what a super ball from Mane, just out of the reach of Salah, who can nevertheless keep it alive. Keita. Alexander-Arnold. Beaten off hungrily by Click. Bamford bending his run ahead of him. Hernandez coming from deeper, and Alexander-Arnold catching them both up.
They're not shy, are they, the newcomers to the Premier League?
It's a lovely moment for Jack Harrison, who, as I say, was a part of the Liverpool Academy as a 7-year-old, who started every championship game bar one last season. Who scored for the first time since doing so against Fulham on the 27th of June at the expense of Liverpool and Jurgen Klopp, who knew this was coming. He made no secret of the fact that of all the potential opening fixtures, this was probably the one he could most have done without. Leeds when they're really up for it.
Well, pretty much as Liverpool tried to play out from defence, and it's man for man from Leeds.
Firmino for Mane. Wijnaldum's up alongside Sadio Mane, who sat down Ayling.
And he got his own kick. A little ricochet.
Today, 29-year-old former Arsenal youth player who has won promotion through his years at a lower level than that with Yeovil and Bristol City, and now with Leeds.
This is a great angle of the goal, and that was critical. Maybe Gomez could have done better, because he seemed to kind of jump over it almost, but he allowed Harrison to come inside, and it was clinical. And I think that was one of the minor criticisms of Leeds last season in the Championship, Vito, that their conversion rate lacked at times. You wouldn't think so because they won it, but it did lack at times. And that's the way to write it.
There's looking for Bamford. Arsenal kept 13 Premier League clean sheets last season, won't be keeping one today. Distribution is adventurous. Meslier away. Mane has a net to fill and fills it. Side, but the flag is up.
That would be a big relief to both Leeds defence and their goalkeeper on that occasion.
Robertson was off. Became relevant.
Meslier will be absolutely thrilled that the linesman opted in his favour.
Meslier, 20-year-old French boy in goal for Leeds, as he was for the last dozen or so games of last season, compared to Kiko Casilla, much more experienced Spaniard who proved to be a little accident prone. Here's Naby Keita. Across came Strout. It's another goal kick. Pascal Strout, another young player, Dutchman, 21 years old. Started the last 2 games of last season, but none prior to that. Product of Ajax. Second half, not the better know. Henderson. Salah. It's a good stretch in the first instance by Dallas, but Salah's left him behind and drives at Strout and circumvents him. Harrison can escape with the help of Dallas. Now Click. Bamford up ahead of him. Hernandez here through the middle. Harrison joining in. Matches Click. Harrison. Costa couldn't reach. Ayling. Hernandez. Ayling robbed by Robertson. What a good game this is.
That's terrific. I mean, it's such a shame that the stadium is relatively empty and it's devoid of supporters, because this place, or this fixture, deserves for this place to be full.
Against Wijnaldum.
see how slick Leeds are in terms of their possession. And now that they've settled and recovered, got the equaliser, and they're starting to grow their belief.
Hernandez. By Bamford, dealt with okay by Alexander-Arnold. Dallas. Struck. Harrison, the goal scorer.
Liverpool themselves trying to keep a high line, but wary of anything that might be played over the top. And Alexi Gomez and Van Dijk are looking to kind of buy a yard. Alexander-Arnold on this occasion.
Again, that opening night against Norwich last year when Liverpool were 4-0 up at half-time. It's the champions of the tier beneath. And this game's going to be 4 each at half-time. Over the top by Van Dijk. So against Hernandez. He couldn't keep it from going behind at this corner.
Not ideal to have him chasing Andy Robertson in a wider position. I think he's much better at that little number 10 slot.
A scorer on the first day of last season, a scorer on the last day of last season, and a scorer once again. The vast Dutchman just insisted.
Yeah, well, he's just been allowed a clear run, and Leeds didn't quite get to him. It's Koch who had the job of dealing with it, and he just ended up bumping into somebody and couldn't stay with him. I think he just tripped on Mane. But the problem for Leeds was Meslier just seemed to be falling backwards as the ball arrived towards him. So he was highly unlikely to ever really make the save because he's going back into his own net. So not great work from the goalkeeper, but Liverpool restore their advantage. Koch is not having the best of outings.
I just feel some sympathy for him. Coming from Freiburg, a medium small German team which actually did very well in the Bundesliga last year and finished 8th. That's by Germany in the week. And actually just the last minute of a game against Spain in which Rodrigo was involved. Here is Bamford for Leeds, and Alisson is committed, and Bamford has kept it but couldn't dispatch a shot. Lifted in towards Harrison, taken up now by Dallas. Salah's defensive work is so rigid.
And again, I wonder how Bamford will fare at this level, because there was an opportunity for him to just lift it over the emerging Alisson, and he chose not to do it. And in the end, credit to the keeper because he forced him wide, but he had a chance to deliver something, Bamford, and he chose to ignore it. I said to you at the start, Peter, you know, any chance that Leeds get, and they've got to convert it. And I mean, this is a very good opportunity, and it's bouncing. You know, he can lift that over Alisson if he wishes. In the end, Liverpool are able to just hook it away through Alexander-Arnold far post. But what another opportunity! And you know, you might have a case that this could end up 4-4.
Of course, they couldn't take it. Patrick Bamford incidentally playing his first Premier League game since he lost 3-0 here with Middlesbrough at the end of the 2016-17 season. Ryan Eldon, Coutinho, Lallana. Prior to tonight, he's played 27 Premier League games for 4 different clubs: Palace, Norwich, Burnley and Borough. He only scored once. Chelsea for so long held out so much hope. He couldn't force his way into their first team plans. They repeatedly lent him elsewhere. So certainly whilst Rodrigo is getting up to speed, Marcelo Bielsa is investing great faith in him.
Yeah, well, it's definitely 4-1, as you pointed out at the start, Peter, that Flick is now playing a higher position with Hernandez alongside him.
Personally speaking, with 4 consecutive clean sheets at championship level against Stoke and Swansea and Barnsley and Charlton. Twice already he'd gone 400 and more playing minutes without conceding. And then led him 2 in the first 20 minutes here. Gomez with authority. Couldn't keep it. Click. Costa.
As soon as it was lost, Firmino became the trigger for the Liverpool closing down.
Hernandez caught on it. Mane. Licked it on for Henderson, who got plenty of that.
It was worth a try because it sat up beautifully, and he got it right technically, certainly, because he got good power behind it, but I don't think Meslier was ever overly concerned. He had good view of it all the way.
Henderson's vulnerable knee, or potentially vulnerable knee, seems to be properly mended. He missed the last half dozen games of last season after picking up that injury at Brighton. Not involved in the Community Shield, not involved for England. Back from the start for Liverpool now. Firmino. Through for Mane.
I think Hook will be very relieved that Mane didn't get hold of that one, because had he controlled it, then it could have been a third mistake.
It's been all the rather thin pre-season, which wasn't helped for either club by the fact that there was an international weekend prior to the resumption of action. Got away a couple of friendlies. They were beaten at Stoke 3-0, played the team from the Portuguese top league, Santos. Hailing Hernandez. Posted out by Robertson. You went to see that last Leeds pre-season game, Jim?
I did, yeah, and I enjoyed it. I mean, I know they were missing AMD. So beware of that. I think he looks full of stress as well. He looks as if he's stressed out all the time because of the level of concentration and how much he desires his team to win. Also introduced a new dimension to
international football, not just with Argentina, but noticeably with the remarkable Chile team he took to a World Cup finals.
3-3-3-1. I always remember that from I worked on their game against Brazil, which didn't go too well.
Robertson's ball in, met by Dallas, and came back out to Andrew Robertson, and it came off Strout, requiring of Meslier quite an adjustment.
Anticipate something like that for a keeper. It just becomes very reactive, and I think Strout too was relieved to see his agility. Knee and then foot, and it just created the extra lift, but that's a fine stop.
Robertson's corner repelled at the near post by Bamford. Back is Gomez.
Look at the work rate. Look at this from Harrison, chasing it down, making sure it goes all the way back to Alisson.
That's a great deal of fitness, of course, and Bielsa is pretty firm on that.
Yeah.
They tell me his training sessions are remarkably intense, but he insists on having a lot of balls down the edge of the pitch. Come back to that. Here's Naby Keita. Mo Salah. Away from Dallas. Keita. Not from Stroud. He has plenty of balls on the edge of the pitch, so there is never any dead time. They're constantly moving. Here is Elder Costa. And a Bamford closer to Alisson.
Yeah, he swapped to it Harrison for the time being, although Harrison's just tucked in a little bit now. He swapped wings. Elder Costa was a nice nutmegs on Alexander Arnold. Are you talking about those training sessions and how intense they are? Basically, he doesn't want the play to stop. That's why all the balls are around. They're mental. I've heard that some of the sessions the players come off exhausted. They're that hard.
Harder even than Howard Wilkinson.
Howard was tough as well. He liked to run.
Van Dijk has only found Bamford, and Bamford has found the... If this is 2021, bring it on. Thrill after thrill. Error from Van Dijk, and that's rare enough. Bamford pounced, and Leeds are level once more.
Well, this is just down to a very unexpected error from Virgil van Dijk. Because, you know, he seems to be in a good position all the way, and when it is played through, yeah, he can go and deal with it. But it's just a weak touch. It's too casual from him. And unlike the last moment when Bamford had a chance to lift it over Alisson, this time I know Alisson's gone to ground, but he's taken his opportunity. He's had a go, and even though there's a touch from the Brazilian keeper, Bamford's left with a big smile on his face. And Leeds strike again. You might be looking at one of the greatest predictions at half-time ever.
Virgil van Dijk showing human frailty, which is not something one often witnesses. Patrick Bamford scoring his first goal since getting one of 5 against Stoke on the 9th of July. His first Premier League goal since his only previous one for Middlesbrough against Southampton in May of 2017.
Liverpool leads luxurious.
Looking for more. They have had some extraordinary games down the years. In fact, in the year to which I previously referred, the 1991 season, when Liverpool were defending champions for the last time, and Leeds had come up as champions from the second tier for the most recent time, 30 years ago, at Ellen Road, as Melier toys, some would say foolishly, with Mane.
Glad to keep it in.
That season at Ellen Road, they played out a game that finished Leeds 4, Liverpool 5. Lee Chapman got a hat-trick and lost in that game. Jan Molby, who's just down the line from us on the television gantry, scored the second of Leeds' 5 goals. John Barnes won it for them in the end, of Liverpool's 5 goals. And it played a Charity Shield in 1992 at Wembley, which Leeds won 4-3. And one of the premium nostalgia games of the Premier League era, one that is so often replayed, was an Ellen Road game in November of 2000, in which Mark Viduka scored 4. Leeds 4, Liverpool 3.
Ayling had just caught Mane then, which is why Michael Oliver blew his whistle.
And by Robertson, flicked out by Strauch and hit by Salah! Wow! That has fizzed in! This is a firework night of an opening night. We've played barely half an hour. It's Liverpool 3, Leeds 2.
And it keeps on giving. I listened to a chat the other day about who might be the Premier League Golden Boot winner come the end of this season, and Salah wasn't given a mention in that particular chat. I think he probably should have been mentioned, because that's spectacular. Again, you wonder whether Melier could do more. Is he really expecting Salah to get the power that he does behind this? but he can't react quickly enough, and it's a brilliant finish from Mo Salah.
Between 2-2 and 3-2. What next? Mo Salah only scored 19 last season.
Well, you've asked
Stuck on 19 after failing to score in the last.
3-3. The way this game is going, it's got every chance.
Salah. Firmino. Alexander-Arnold. So Robertson. Couldn't get that.
Well, whatever happens from here, and I know Leeds fans will be delighted about it, but it's a joy to have them back in the Premier League.
Leeds, long before we knew of him in this context, last played Liverpool in the league on Leap Year's Day 2004. They last beat Liverpool, oddly enough, here at Anfield on Friday the 13th of April 2001. Liverpool unbeaten in their last 6 Premier League meetings, last 8 in all competitions. Last meeting, the 29th of February 2004, actually finished 2-2. Already they have outstripped that goal for goal. Baka and Viduka, Kuhl and Barros. Kuhl, another of those who played for both teams.
Challenge and kick, because he went in with probably a little more force than the referee would have liked.
Oliver was in international colours last weekend, like many of the players here. He was in Basel last Sunday for Switzerland, Germany. He refereed Leeds against Merseyside opponents. Those opponents were champion in League One 11 years ago. Most been a fair way since then. And that is the guy who's made it all happen for Leeds, Andrea Ratazani, 26-year-old Milanese investor in the famous Yorkshire club. So many false dawns over the last 15, 16 years, and some experiences which you would consider lower than any false dawn. They have been right down to the 3rd tier of English football. It has been a journey to hell and back. Costa. Hernandez. Kick was on his heels.
Just look at that picture now, Peter. Pretty much man for man, which is why Alisson has decided to kick long. If it's a little risky, then don't go there.
Cross. Don't forget this in a hurry. I wish you could. Alderweireld, Salah. Henderson. Strout. Harrison. Firmino couldn't progress. By Phillips. Taken off with a kick. Nicked back by Gomez. Keita.
It's like a press fest at times.
Fernandes only came to Keita, then Wijnaldum. Firmino let it roll. Dallas's clearance was weak. Henderson, Salah, Mane! Threw out a leg.
Yeah, he's offside, Mane. They wouldn't have counted had that found the far corner. Just needed to come a little bit quicker from it. I think he acknowledges that. You're right, Peter. You said it, that it wasn't a good clearance from. In fact, he's on, isn't he? He's been played on by Luke Ayling.
Firmino. Keita for Wijnaldum. Wijnaldum for Mane. Sadio Mane looking to shape one. Mane looking to thump one. And Ayling getting in the way.
Yeah, again, it's one of those decisions he has to make, Mane. He could have played it a little bit earlier. He could have shot, I should say. But in the end, it's a double block because he's taken a little long. And he's just come inside and Cork got the first one, Ayling with the second.
Henderson's delivery. Out to Click. Andy Costa can have a run, but Gomez is there before him. It's Liverpool's last home game, finished 5-3. It's Chelsea, didn't it? Was the night when they really did make an excellent fist of a nasty situation. The presentation was a properly emotional event. So sad that supporters couldn't be in to witness it, but on the cot, Jordan Henderson dancing. It was a lovely evening. Swung wide by Henderson, taken up by Salah. Problem for Dallas. Dash from Firmino, across got Strauch.
Who's looked the more comfortable centre-back of the pairing, and it's a pairing that doesn't know one another. The understanding, the relationship has not had a chance to grow. So I think Liverpool have capitalised, mainly because of the guy who's just released the ball a short time ago, Cook.
Fernandes pushed away by Keita from in front of Bamford. Both Naby Keita and Michael Oliver indicate a throw.
Maybe not necessarily the goal count, Peter, but I think we got what we expected in terms of the high-octane type of game.
They really have gone blow for blow, without compromise. Failure to compromise, or refusal to compromise, is what marks out both of the coaches who've set out these teams. What a great addition, what a great character. Fourth Argentine to manage in the top flight of English football. Before him, Pellegrino. Before him, or alongside him, Pochettino. And way back, Ozzy Ardiles.
an Anfield squatter.
Phillips.
Considering the start, Peter, that's actually quite impressive for Leeds in terms of matching Liverpool.
Elder Costa, click. Elder Costa's gone over. Michael Oliver was close by and saw nothing untoward. And Liverpool can counter. It's Salah. VAR is checking on that, but Salah continues to progress. Sadio Mane. Salah. It's a good tackle from Calvin Phillips. That's essentially the base of his workload. Is to tidy up in front of the penalty area. And that's what he does as well. Beautifully distributed by Calvin Phillips. And taken up by Harrison, who dummied himself. More than dispossessed by Ayling.
Jurgen Klopp is, I mean, he might have scored 2 goals from Mohamed Salah, but Jurgen Klopp is getting stuck into him in terms of not being lazy, to be lively, focused, and get back in position. Jurgen Klopp knows how hard this is proving to be.
And goes click.
And he did call it. I mean, you referred to it earlier, Peter. I mean, it had his full attention earlier in the week, and certainly today as well. And did Mo Salah. He didn't make any contact with Elder Costa, who took a chance going down in the hope that Michael Oliver might bite.
And this for Mane. He was quick enough to get there before Ayling. Boot in into 2 minutes of stoppage time at the end of a first half, which is going to take some bettering through the duration of the entire upcoming season.
Yeah, I think Liverpool are ahead because of their greater talent and experience.
Henderson away by Dallas. By Koch, on by Bamford, back by Robertson, out of the reach of Harrison. Gomez, Salah. Keita. Henderson. Well, we'll have some more of that, please. Exhilarating, blow for blow, toe to toe. Salah penalty, 1-0 Liverpool. Harrison 1-1. Van Dijk 2-1 Liverpool. Bamford 2-2. Salah thrillingly 3-2 Liverpool. And we've only had half a game. This 15 minutes cannot pass quickly enough. At the break at Anfield, it's Liverpool 3, Leeds 2.
Many thanks there, Peter Drury and Jim Beglin. Stupendous, simply stupendous. It's only half time, but we've already had 5 goals. That leaves us with loads to talk about.
get anxious. And I definitely feel that Liverpool at home would have put this game to bed already had there been fans there.
Yeah, you do wonder about that, of course. We're uncertain when fans will be allowed back into the stadium. Only time will tell on that front. Let's pass you straight back to your match commentators. Jim Beglin is alongside Peter Drury.
Thrilled to have Leeds back. Even greater thrill to have Leeds back if this is how they are going to play. Only the second time in Premier League history that on the opening weekend of a season there has been a first half containing 5 goals. Manchester United led Fulham 4-1 at half-time in 2006. That joins with this in making a little bit of statistical history. Don't mind immediate history. What about the immediate future, Jim Beglin? Can the second half live up to the first?
Yeah, I can't see why not, because neither of these managers likes to compromise on their way of playing, and certainly Marcelo Bielsa is not going to shy away now. I think he'll have tried to lift his players, and I think they'll be showing the same courage and bravery that we saw once they went behind in the first half.
Patrick Bamford with a first half goal to settle any apprehension he might feel, to make him feel like a Premier League player. Bielsa needn't have any sort of inferiority complex. He is certainly a manager of Premier League pedigree. Leeds actually 8 unbeaten since their last defeat. They ended their championship title season with 6 straight wins, conceding in that time only 2 goals. Moved up the league. They conceded 3.5.
I always like to wait about 10 games into a season before you give a proper judgment on a team.
Dyke away from Alder Costa, covered by Calvin Phillips. Dyke.
But whatever about Leeds and how they fare coming into the season, Peter, I think they're going to be thrill them in it. I think they're going to be really exciting for the Premier League, and it is great to have them at this level. It's a tough start for them too. I mean, they've got Fulham at home next, then they go to Sheffield United, which is a big Yorkshire derby, Manchester City, and then Wolves. Not easy.
It is examining fixture list, but as a newly promoted club, they always say at every club, when the fixtures come out, you have that initial rush of excitement, and then you calm down and look down the list and you think, well, where are the points coming from? Because they all look so horribly tough. Sheffield United is a special one for Leeds. There's a great intra-Yorkshire rivalry there. And part of what has hurt for Leeds over the course of the last 16 years has been seeing Sheffield United have their turn in the Premier League, Huddersfield Town having their turn in the Premier League. Leeds consider themselves Yorkshire's #1 club, and now they have a chance perhaps to be that again. And if anyone can, he can. Away by Dallas, back by Gomez, linked on by Keita, held by Mane for Firmino. Keita again, here's Salah. Well behind Firmino, sweet little touch for Keita. And now Roberto Firmino, it's come all the way through to Wijnaldum. Meslier made a block on the line and fell on the ball.
He has so much time, Wijnaldum, you're just wondering, can he not take a second longer to make sure he picks a spot that will get past the line of Leeds defenders and goalkeeper on the line, and it's a good save from Meslier, but he could have lifted this, Wijnaldum, and probably found the back of the net, and a very good chance for Liverpool to make it 4-2.
Sure, it's egg of the day for that young man. Excellent in parts.
He's brilliant with the ball at his feet. He's a lefty, and he's very, very assured. In playing out from the back. They all have to be nowadays.
was as interested Salah. Meslier got there in the nick of time.
Salah wasn't going near that when he saw the goalkeeper committing himself to winning it.
French under-20 international. Came through at Lorient. Full-time Leeds employee after a season on loan. Casilla was the established number one. Casilla made his debut for Leeds in the cup at Arsenal. Built through there. Here's Bamford for Leeds. Ayling is up ahead of him. Bamford's had a hit. It's come back to Elder Costa. Couldn't fiddle it inside of Robertson.
It's too weak. And it was a mistake by Sadio Mane, and he'll be breathing a little easier. Sloppy when he gave away in midfield.
Everything you need to know about Leeds, that Luke Ayling, their right full back, was effectively the centre forward then.
I watched the game last season and I couldn't tell you whether Stuart Dallas was playing left back or right midfield.
Here's Elder Costa from right midfield, taking on Robertson, weaving and wriggling. Finding too many bollards in his path.
And you're going to say now, because I mentioned that, you're going to say, well, you're a hopeless analyst. But honestly, it was bonkers. He was just popping up all over the place, and it was hard to nail down a position for him.
Tough start for Liverpool, by the way, and Jurgen Klopp. They go to Chelsea next weekend and then welcome Arsenal here the Monday after that.
The difference is they're champions and they know what it's all about. And I don't think Liverpool will fear anybody. And I think they know as well, Peter, like last season, they need to hit the ground running, because Manchester City certainly will come again. And we know Chelsea have made the signings, Manchester United, everybody is searching for a higher place.
Easily seen by Robertson. Nudged on by Wijnaldum. Mane has time to turn. It's across halfway. Henderson. Towards Alexander-Arnold. Left with Harrison. Harrison got a touch. Off the top of that bum. Straight it behind. Fearful of Salah's presence.
He'd love another, wouldn't he, Van Dijk, just to banish that memory.
Flick at the near post.
Yeah, well, he's the lively one. He's he obviously still has eyes on a hat-trick.
Alexander-Arnold to deliver again. Hernandez, the one-man Leeds wall. Alexander-Arnold with greater depth, and another of his trademark leaps.
Yeah, this time Cook was able to stay with him. He couldn't be blocked, but probably did just enough.
By Keita, moved on by Salah. Well read that time by Koch, but he's lost it again to Firmino. He's glad to wrap it up.
What a sequence of errors. Meslier started it all off, and then Koch looked as if he could tidy it up and then gave it away again. And Liverpool should have punished them more.
Phillips robbed by Henderson. Henderson for Salah. Salah for Firmino. Salah again. In went Henderson. Out came Harrison. Won by Click. Muscled over by Gomez.
Well, the worry now in the second half is that Leeds are getting detached, because that attacking quintet that I referred to earlier on is stretched well away now from that defence, and indeed Calvin Phillips. And Calvin Phillips is making the point, and he's trying to urge one or two to kind of get tucked in around him more.
flight under Howard Wilkinson in 1990. Jim was part of that team. They finished 4th in their first season. They were champions the next. The last 3 Premier League champions. Previous top flight spell lasted 14 seasons, during which they won that title. They won a League Cup, or they reached the League Cup final in 1996. They reached a Champions League semi-final in 2001 under David O'Leary.
League Cup final was that Aston Villa.
Aston Villa, Dwight York won that game for Villa.
Touch football that they like to play, didn't quite come off.
Since relegation, is the 16th different name on the manager's door in 16 years. Montgomery, Carl, Wise, McAllister, Grayson, Redfern, Morgan, McDermott, Hockaday, Milanic, Rosler, Evans, Monk, Christensen, Heckingbottom, and then Bielsa.
Championship side, mid-table championship side, to being extremely good.
So went down under the management of Eddie Gray, great Leeds United winger of years gone by, the vintage years of the 60s and 70s. Nobody blamed Eddie for that disappearance into the underworld. Those two great legends to be blamed for anything. Here is Click. In any way, the club was chaotic at that time. Gomez got across.
Yeah, he needed all his pace then to do so, Joe Gomez. But again, Peter, as we suggested at the start of the second half, the Leeds are not backing off here. They're still trying to play their football and looking for the gaps. And it looks like Fabinho's coming on, and Jurgen Klopp maybe has some concern because of that.
Phillips in juxtaposition with Jordan Henderson. I guess over the coming years, Phillips will have an eye on Henderson's England jersey. Harrison's dashing onto this. The flag has stayed down. Harrison beyond the goalkeeper, and Alexander-Arnold can't keep it out. The flag is up now, though. And that is what referees' assistants have been instructed to do, to wait their moment just in case.
Yeah, and it looks correct. It looks as if he is offside. But yeah, you confirmed it, Peter, that the assistants are going to wait. And I think having gotten that position, Alexander-Arnold will be very pleased to have heard the whistle go.
I can't keep it out. He thumped it in, but it counted for nothing. And Keita has given way to Fabinho.
Fabinho goes into the Henderson deeper position. Henderson takes up the Keita position.
Liverpool were defending champions. They began with a 3-1 win against newly promoted Sheffield United. Sheffield United, who in a Yorkshire double had come up with Leeds that summer. They were helped on their way by the fact that that opening day Sheffield United had their goalkeeper Simon Tracy sent off, or rather carried off, after breaking his cheekbone a quarter of an hour in. Defender John Pemberton had to go in goal. They weren't sub-goalkeepers in those days, in by Henderson. Picked off by Melier. That's Leeds defending champions. Liverpool did win their first 8 league games. Still ended the season in second place, 7 points behind Arsenal.
Doesn't have spray, doesn't have Phillips.
Phillips. get away. Salah. Fed forward for Mane. Klopp's going to have to be strong here. He just about had enough about him. His clearance came to Wijnaldum. And now Salah against Koch. Salah. Henderson. Fabinho. Mane. Robertson. And the problem for Norway.
Robertson wanted to try and just pull that back a little bit more. He didn't quite intend to try for goal. As it looked.
An hour in, maybe half an hour without a goal. Click. On that subject, Leeds are about to make 2 attacking substitutions. We're going to see a debut for Rodrigo. We're also going to see Tyler Roberts, who is another very exciting prospect. Meantime, here's Harrison. Dallas. Hernandez. Dallas, he's got away from Fabinho. Alisson plunged, did enough. Fabinho clear. Firmino. Rattled beyond Salah for Mane. Mane for Salah. Salah for Mane, who lifts it over.
Brilliant until that last moment. The way Liverpool were able to just keep shifting the ball, and Leeds couldn't get close to them.
They enjoyed it, didn't they?
Yeah, they did. I mean, Firmino can see the run initially, and then it's just lovely one-touch football. And Mane just wanted to go for the little.
So Patrick Bamford gives way, Pablo Hernandez gives way, Tyler Roberts is on, and so is Rodrigo, which will excite Leeds fans worldwide. Spanish international striker who last year was scoring a Champions League goal for Valencia at Chelsea. He was involved for his national team just last weekend. Firmino, Fabinho alongside. Here's Mo Salah, showed a bit too much of it.
Yeah, I just wonder, they're concerned on the Leeds bench now about Calvin Phillips. Looks as if he's tiring. Maybe, you know, the whole England thing, maybe emotionally it's just drained him a little bit, and fatigue is setting in.
Alexander-Arnold's take. Palmed it out. Handled wide again by Gomez. Lifted in by Alexander-Arnold. Repelled by Click. Back in by Robertson. Dallas comes to meet Salah. And leaves him no room in which to manoeuvre.
I think Salah felt he was nudged. And he's not going to get the free kick he was hoping for.
Robertson's hit it early, too early for Mane.
Yeah, I mean, Curtis Jones is about to come on for Jordan Henderson, who will obviously need to be managed, I think, on being reintroduced.
Klopp said, didn't he? Klopp said in his pre-match interview, we're not sure he can do the full 90.
Yeah. Well, I think we're seeing that now. But I think Curtis Jones is in this position, Peter, because pretty much everything he did when he entered the first team last season was quite good.
Explanations for Liverpool choosing not to go big in the transfer market, at least to this point this summer, has been that Jurgen Klopp doesn't want to block the path of some very good young players coming through who he believes are perfectly capable in their own right of inheriting first-team jerseys. Stuck.
Harrison not best pleased with that. He's put a lot of work into the game today. Harrison, of course, scored Leeds' first goal as well, which is a lovely finish.
So for now, that's it for the skipper. It's 65 minutes more than many were led to believe he would be able to give for the team today. Turning his arm back to Virgil van Dijk. And gives way to Curtis Jones, who made enough appearances last season to get a medal. 6 in the Premier League. He started just once against Burnley in July. The Scouse boy. Scored a famous cup goal against Everton. He scored here against Aston Villa in the Premier League during the post-lockdown run-in. Klich. Costa. Aimed in for Klich, free! Never mind, Leeds are coming back. Leeds are not going away. And that is a super finish. And 3 times on the night they have come back.
It's another example of bravery. Yes, Liverpool give the ball away at the throw-in, but just watch the amount of numbers that get into the Liverpool box. Watch them all. Klich was involved in feeding it out to Helder Costa. It came back to him. How tidy is the first touch, by the way? This is absolutely brilliant, the way he controls it. He just sets it up then to get the volley away, and Alisson can do little. And to keep coming like that, incredible.
Matthias Klich, who scored for Leeds this weekend last year in a 2-0 win at Barnsley, has just got a 3-3 equaliser at the home of the champions. Polish international played the full 90 minutes of a defeat in Holland last weekend, and the last 20 or so of a victory against Bosnia and Herzegovina. On Premier League debut has hit that as pure as you like. We have a quarter of the game to play, and it is right up for grabs. Mane, Salah, Mane. And in case it becomes relevant, may I just remind you of the oft-repeated fact which grows week on week and came up every time we visited this ground last season. Liverpool are now 59 Premier League home games unbeaten. Nobody has beaten them here since Crystal Palace, Sam Allardyce's Crystal Palace in April of 2017.
You mentioned the last home game at the end of last season, Chelsea. Yeah, it's a bit like back to when Jurgen Klopp first arrived at Liverpool, and they were goal traders. And look at that, Peter, second half. Leeds almost 2/3 in possession. That's very, very impressive.
To Fabinho. Jones, Trent Alexander-Arnold. Touched away as far as Firmino.
He's got to communicate there as he goes towards Luke Ayling.
Just a slightly worrying moment here because Michael Oliver stopped the game with a degree of urgency as Ayling hit the turf. I think he just got a bang on the head while he was obliged to do that.
Koch has just kind of headed him. He's headed the back of his head, I'm pretty sure. But surely a shout has to be involved then. But didn't he take his goal brilliantly well to say, you know, it's not the greatest throw-in from Alexander-Arnold. And then he's the one that just feeds it. And now he's looking to get in the box, you know, make the run, and it's a really good ball from Helder Costa to pick him out. But the control and the finish was...
Jim, how deliberate is that
beautiful.
first touch? Is that a deliberate, the way he teed himself up, you think that's deliberate?
He had to improvise because it came at him awkwardly and it came at him from the side. So he had to just adjust his body and then get the ball to move in front of him so he could hit it. And he just did it all beautifully well.
Football with a smile. Living the dream.
El Loco, method to the madness.
By Salah, taken up by Sadio Mane, who's looking to shape one, click, made the block. Fabinho. Robertson, out by Koch, and heaved into the Koch by Mo Salah.
You can forgive him, man, because it's on his right, and it's hard to get the control on your weaker side. And he was just hoping to get the contact right once it sat up for him. And obviously, those are the ones that you need to get over that little bit more.
Chase. Anyway, has a head start.
Tyler Roberts, since he came on, just when I watched him in the friendly last week, he played the same type of position. It's almost secondary striking. Rodrigo's gone in up top in the Bamford position, and Roberts is just playing 10 yards deeper.
Fabinho.
Oliver was just stressing then that it wasn't because it was quite high on the line, which has changed the rule this season.
A t-shirt line, as we're calling it. The relegation year, Leeds failed to win any of their last 6 Premier League games. This victory at this level was a 2-1 success at Blackburn. 10th of April 2004. Stephen Caldwell and Mark Paducah with the goals that day. This is their first Premier League game since losing 1-0 to a Jesper Bronkiar goal at Chelsea. One day of that demotion year. Phillips spreading it. Harrison. Dallas. Roberts. He's got a trick. He's bright. Has actually played a quarter of an hour of serve Premier League football in his relatively distant past. He's only 21, but as a teenager he got the last few minutes of the last game of the season for West Brom against Liverpool under Tony Pulis. Finished the 1-1 draw.
Yeah, the referee's now called it back, and the assistant did flag for the earlier foul. Merited it. Click is certainly not trying to look to play or get his leg across. British Jones.
Into a cul-de-sac. By Firmino.
Time goes by so fast. Time goes by so fast.
And he had to make amends, even if it meant giving the free kick away and taking a yellow card, because Harrison could have just had another punt.
Let's have a few technicians behind the dead ball. One of those, of course, is Calvin Phillips, and he is certainly associating himself with this. Rodrigo, who's barely had a kick of a Leeds ball yet. is the other player behind him. Both proven from this range. Rodrigo left, Phillips right. It's Calvin Phillips. That's a good one.
That's a great attempt. And he's very close, and you just have to look at Alisson because he's scrambling with all he had to try and get across and be there. Should it have been on target? I think he probably would have had it covered. The Brazilian, yeah.
Gomez. Jones. This quarter now of a simply compelling game. Van Dijk just about squeezed it through to Robertson. Jones. Salah. Wijnaldum, what a heroic block that was by Click. Robertson.
Because over the last 2 seasons, on so many occasions, Liverpool did what they needed to, and they dug something out late in games.
Salah, lovely drop of the shoulder away from Dallas. Click got between him and the ball, but it is a Liverpool corner.
Yeah, and he's struggling now, Click. He's rolled back onto the pitch so as he can help delay things and give Leeds a little breathing space.
Pretty well-travelled player. That's just Click.
It's a tremendous block, wasn't it?
From his native Poland with Cracovia. He's played in Holland with Zwolle, in Germany with Wolfsburg and Kaiserslautern. Then back to Holland and 20. There's Robertson's corner. There's Van Dijk. He's not missing from there. But it's been ruled out. At least for now.
I think Michael Oliver was onto something on the front post straight away. And does he
Push
feel
from
that it was,
Jones?
well, Curtis Jones didn't look as if he was hugely involved in this, yeah, but he does put his arm out just to tug him back, and that could go against Liverpool, I think.
There's the guilty party. Spot from Michael Oliver. Roberts caught on it by Jones. Jones for Salah. Roberts made the block. Back in by Fabinho. Out of the range of Sadio Mane. Scored a couple of the goals of last season. His only 2 goals of last season were blooters against Manchester City and Crystal Palace. Klopp seeking from Mike Dean an explanation for the deletion of what might have been a winning goal from Virgil van Dijk. Sadio Mane as Liverpool keep coming. Alexander-Arnold, Salah, Alexander-Arnold, Jones, Robertson, Jones, Robertson, Jones, settles for a throw.
Yeah, I think Click is feeling the effects now, and he's the one that's going to make way, and Jamie Shackleton will just be full of energy, full of running, and it will be a direct swap in midfield for Bielsa.
A dream for this boy. Leeds born, a Leeds United academy product. He scored the final goal of last season, the 4th of 4 against Charlton on a party afternoon. And it has been one heroic shift from Matthias Klick, whom he replaces. Salah, cleverly away from Dallas. Harrison doubled up at full-back. Alexander-Arnold with a loopy one. That was perilously close to Mellier's back stick.
Yeah, I mean, this is completely unintentional, but I thought for a moment that it was just going to dip in and find the side netting. Yeah, just overdoes it, and Meslier wouldn't have been able to do much about that.
There are 4 or 5 of those in every season. Meslier got away with that one. With Paul Konchesky for West Ham against Liverpool in the cup final. To the other side, Jones, Mane.
I remember doing it for my first club, Shamrock Rovers, and my first professional club, and they were all giving me stick. Everyone waiting for the box was giving me stick, and then it found the net just inside the far post, and I was jumped on.
Salah, still industrious. Yes, Leeds within 7 minutes here of a famous point.
Leeds.
Liverpool, who've